It is the Riot Podcast. Happy Tuesday to you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Today we're celebrating me and my wife's anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been many happy years.
Good.
Yeah.
And some unhappy. That was always my dad's joke.
Is this such a dad joke?
Yeah,
It really is.
He would always, like, whatever him and my mom would be, when they celebrate their anniversary, it'd be like 21 years, 17 happy years, or something like that. So,
I've never heard that one.
No, it's a great day to celebrate an anniversary by probably not doing a whole lot.
Perfect.
But it's still a celebration for sure.
Well, guys, today we did do something.
We did.
We tried the Cinnamon Bun Snickers bar.
Yeah. So we have an
finally
extra
did
one
that.
I can bring back to my wife as an anniversary gift.
Well, listen, I have one because Eric wanted one and he's the one who went and got him. So I feel like I should bring it to him. But you ate your whole thing.
I
You
did.
should have
You
saved
could have saved like half of it. Yeah.
It's like, I think you could have, managed to take her a bite home.
No, I have other stuff in mind I have to pick up on the way home. So
Boy, nothing says you
maybe
love
I'll
someone like bringing home leftovers from work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Here's half my Snickers bar from earlier.
I thought
Happy
of you.
anniversary.
Hey, it's the thought that counts.
You're
And if
right.
I was thinking of her while I was eating the Snickers,
You're like,
I think that means something.
I ate the one that I had. I ate all of it. I wasn't thinking of you, but I took the leftover one. So we do that. If you want to, when you're done with the podcast, head over to RadioU Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel to watch our food fights.
Yeah, today on the show, we also talked about a Tinder date that may even be worse than sharing half of a Snickers bar with your significant other. Because this guy totally did his date super dirty by even like the most disgraceful way when they were trying to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Which is just so mean.
At least he didn't show her face.
He didn't show her face. But
I don't
still.
think she would be found out. But for this guy, I hate guys like that.
Yeah. Well, this is something that came up after we talked about it on the show. It's just the girl was paying with coins is why he was shaming her. And we thought after the fact, it's like, maybe she wasn't expecting to pay at all. Maybe she didn't offer to be nice and just was getting rid of her coins. It's probably more likely she wasn't expecting to pay. Maybe he paid for the first date because it was a second date.
Sure.
And so all of a sudden now she's like, oh, I have to split this. And
Dude,
she didn't have her card with her or something.
He wasn't good enough for cash. He's only good enough to get rid of the coins.
Yeah. So I don't appreciate this guy at all.
No.
All right.
We talked about that. We also talked about how Netflix accounts, I feel like they're just throwing our money away sometimes when I see what they come out with and just things that just don't even interest me. But at the same time, I don't pay for Netflix.
Right.
So
Gosh, I can't stand you both.
It doesn't feel like
Come
I'm really,
on.
they're throwing my money away.
I am jealous that you guys don't get to pay.
But they are throwing Nikki's
there's
money away.
nothing to be jealous of.
my
I don't
money.
even use
Yeah.
it.
It's my money that's being used and abused.
I haven't even watched Squid Game, and I have the opportunity. I haven't watched anything on Netflix in so long.
How long has it been? Sometimes people say that and you're like, yeah, it's been a month.
It's been long enough that I can't remember the last
what it
thing I
was.
watched on there was. If I really try.
I watched a movie yesterday.
Hey. Was it a good movie?
It was.
What was it?
It was The
Would you like
Wrong
to
Missy.
share?
What's that
What's
one?
that?
I don't know. It's like a weird David Spade movie. It's funny though.
I don't think it's seriously nothing's coming to mind. It's been a
Okay,
while
never
since
mind.
I've watched
He's
it.
an HBO Max man.
I am. I used HBO Max last night, which also comes up in the show.
Yep.
HBO Max. So today on the show, we also talked about Halloween a little bit. Hudson was a little upset about when trick-or-treating occurs.
Dude, you rant about the weirdest, grandpa-ish.
What?
Yes.
No, I'm on the kids' side here.
I
I'm with
guess.
the kids.
I don't know. Anytime someone
I'm for the
rants.
children.
Yeah. Think of the children. Do you ever think, great, you've got me started on this again. Maybe do you think that the reason that Halloween, that trick-or-treating is moved off of Halloween night for some reason that nobody seems to understand, maybe it's because it's what the adults prefer. But that's not
That is
how
true.
trick-or-treating is about. It's not about the adults. Let the kids have their night.
That is true.
Dude, I guess I just didn't care about trick-or-treating as much. It's like you just went out, you got your candy, you came home, and I organized my candy. Like, that's all I did.
Yes.
I was totally way older than I was when I was younger. And you would just bring your candy the next day to school and trade it out for the candy that you really wanted.
Right.
Like, that was it. It wasn't some sort of, I could care less what day it was. Just let me go out.
I just think it should be on Halloween.
All right.
Seems a little bit
it's-
extra.
If it's not on Halloween, then why even have Halloween as a day?
Why? We don't need to. Let's just have Christmas-ween.
Yeah.
It's a new version of Halloween.
Christmas-ween.
Christmas-ween is here.
I'm not
See?
going to join you in saying Christmas-ween.
Happiness
It doesn't
is
feel
here.
right. It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Pumpkins are
It's
still
really
fine.
just
We'll have
the
to
phrase-
workshop that. We'll have to workshop
maybe
that a little bit.
rephrase that Hallowmas
Yeah.
instead of Christmas-ween. I feel might be a little
It's a
better.
really long, wonderful time of year.
Yes.
Well, I think that's plenty, guys. We'll
Yeah.
let the rest be
You've
just
gotten
a
a taste.
surprise. So
Yeah.
make sure you say hi. Text 877 to Radio U. And like we mentioned, join us for our Cinnamon Bun Snickers food fight by watching at Radio U Riot on Facebook and our YouTube channel. Subscribe and get notifications there.
And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
The Riot Podcast.
Radio U.
I watched Dune last night,
You
beginning
made
to
time.
end. I did. I didn't just. It wasn't just happenstance. It was a set thing where it's like I'm gonna watch Dune because you know how it is. You put it off, and eventually you're gonna miss out.
Well, if you were going to do it soon, even though you were trying to stay strong and saying you were going to go to the movie theater,
Yep. I
but you went to the
was.
movie theater of your house.
Yes, I did. And it's totally a thing of if it wasn't on HBO Max, I would have really held strong and gone to the theater to see it. But when it's on HBO Max and it's an option there, it makes the theater seem, even for a movie like Dune, which after watching it, I wish I would like to go see it in the theater. But I don't know if I want to. Like, it's a lot.
Well, maybe you go when it's at the cheaper theater.
Maybe.
Like it's on its way out.
But it's not even that. It's not the money. It's just the time, to already the time to go see the movie and then to actually go. It adds so much in. So I don't know. But
I'll ask you right away. Did you like it?
I did like it.
You did?
I liked Dune.
What's your rotten Hudson score?
Well, it's one of the better movies of the year. But that's not saying a whole lot. It hasn't been a great year for movies. Probably like an 8 out of 10.
Okay. So 80 out of 100?
Yeah, sure. Because for one, here's where it loses marks. It is a lot of exposition. It is a lot of setup. Like it's 2.5 hours. And okay, it's a lot of setup. And like you predicted, it feels very long just because it's so epic. And I think not far be it from me to question Denis Villeneuve, but he could have benefited from editing a little bit.
Sometimes the more epic they're trying to make something, they just can't cut the time down.
Yeah.
Because they feel like everything's too important,
So
in
important.
it when
And
it might not be.
There's a few scenes too where it feels like because he has a more highbrow sense of filmmaking than maybe if you were watching Star Wars or something like that, which is similar, but he'll have these scenes where it's just like somebody's signing something or whatever. And so one person looks at another and then the other person looks and then like they're all, and it's just all just individual shots of their faces that sit for like 3 seconds. And it's like, is this really necessary
Gotta cut it
to
all
catch
out.
their emotion for this situation?
Sure.
And so it adds up to make it feel like it's a very slow movie. However, it's very cool. All of the action and just the world building of it is very cool. So it pays off. The other place where it loses marks is, again, something we knew going in once they started talking about it, is it's not really a full movie. Where they leave it off is pretty, like it ends it, but they're obviously banking on that second movie and possibly third movie coming.
I don't think
and
they
that
told
really bothers
everybody.
me.
I don't think they told everybody until right when the movie was coming out. And I think that's when people started talking about it. Because in the beginning, it was like, oh, this is great. But people's criticism was that a lot of that movie was just to prop up to get you ready for the second one.
Yeah.
Which, where's the second one?
Right. And
like
you
you're
would
just
hope-
wasting that whole time.
You would hope that especially with the way they left it off and then the way they were talking about it going into shortly before the movie came out, where even the CEO of Warner Brothers was saying, well, when you see how the first movie ends, you'll understand if we're making a second one. So basically saying they're making a second one, but yet they haven't come out and said they're making a second one yet. And so if they leave the first one the way it is, it does kind of feel like you
missed out.
You were sold something that was setting everything up. It's almost like you just watched a 2.5-hour trailer for another movie that you're never going to get. So I hope that they do wind up making a second one, just for the fact that hopefully it would be maybe a little shorter, but even if not shorter, it wouldn't have to go through so much setup to get to where you're going, because it was all in the first movie.
So 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10. The acting is really great. The effects are great.
For Dune.
It's very big and cool. And I probably would, if you're like me and you were trying to hold out and see it in the theater over HBO Max, I still might recommend that. Because I wish I could go see it in the theater. But we were talking about it's my wife and I's anniversary, and we have a great relationship. But sometimes we don't see eye to eye, like on movies that we would like to go see together.
Well, especially when they clock in so long.
Yeah, so I was able to talk her into seeing it on HBO Max when she can also do other things and not pay full attention to it.
Good plan.
But getting her to pay and go to the theater and sit through it for 3 hours. Maybe she wasn't as interested.
I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah, I am too. It was a good movie, and it's just totally one of those ones. It was a good enough time, but I don't know if I can bring myself to go back to it because it was such an investment. So there you go, though. Dune, I give it a thumbs up, 8 out of 10.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot Podcast.
You've seen this story because it's on TikTok, but Isaiah,
have seen it.
have you seen this guy on TikTok?
I do not scroll TikTok like Nikki does. I barely ever get on
Guys,
TikTok.
I don't spend a long amount, but what I do it for the show. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's work. It's work.
Somehow everything Nikki ever sees or everything that ever happens on TikTok that gets onto the show, Nikki's seen.
Well, I normally
That's
just scroll
not
through
a coincidence.
It's just the For You page. I'm just on trend.
But when I scroll the For You page, I never see stuff like this.
You never do?
Me either.
I probably just skip past it because it doesn't seem interesting in the moment.
But for this one,
when the news story comes out.
this one comes right off of the guy with the steak. Did you ever see that guy?
No.
So it was
Me
a guy
either.
who went on a date with a girl. I think it was like their second date, and she made him this really nice steak and asparagus and all that stuff. And he was making fun of her because she made the food, and he felt like she made it wrong.
What?
Because the steak was like rare, like medium rare sort of thing.
And that's good. That's how
That's
you
what.
should
That's how
want
you're
it.
supposed to eat it.
Exactly. And so he's like, she didn't even cook it. Like all
Oh,
this stuff.
my
And so
gosh.
people are like, dude, she cooked it wonderful and she made you a meal.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst guy on
So
TikTok.
then you get this guy
Yeah, so
following it.
Here's the deal, Isaiah and everyone else. It is a guy on TikTok. If you want to follow him for some reason, he's Waterboy. And he was
Shame him.
He was on a
Shame him.
second date with a young lady. And he shows the TikTok at the end of the date. He's covertly filming her paying for presumably her half of the bill with change, with coinage. And so he goes on there basically to shame her. I don't know if he maybe he just thought it was funny or exactly what he was trying to get at, but I'm assuming there wasn't a third date either, from one of the parties. Probably wasn't interested. But how do we all feel about one, paying for a date with coins, and then two, shaming somebody for doing it?
Well, this was their second date. So the first one, they went to the golf range. Second one, he said, I decided to go out with her again, and she does this. You can't make this up. So that's what he said about her.
Yeah,
just
it's not
paying,
really great.
Paying coins. And I would like to hear Isaiah's thoughts.
Well, I have like
Sometimes
two.
your dating style is different
no.
than what we think.
There's like two different things that I think like that this could be. If one of them, if it's like in good fun, like if he was like, "What are you doing?" Like you're paying him a change or whatever, like not like making fun of her,
Yeah.
but like laughing at her. Like if I was with my girlfriend, we were on a date, and she pulled out change and started doing, I'd be like, Carly, I would take a video, and be like, "What the heck are you doing? Like what
Yeah.
is this? My girlfriend's paying with change right now." Like that's one thing. thing. But if you're like actually making fun of her for paying with change, then like why didn't you pay for it? If you have so much money, so much money, why didn't you just pay for it? If you don't need change, then you should just pay for the whole thing.
And sometimes, I don't know if anybody else does it, sometimes you just want to clear your change out.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So you just pay with it.
I find that the self-checkout at the grocery store is great for that because nobody can judge you there. You just put the coins
them all in.
Yeah, and then make sure you get an even number and then put the rest in cash. Oh, it's a great feeling.
Well, Mike texted in and said, good morning. Sounds like he's shallow.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I just don't...
And cheap. So I'm going to say it too. Shallow and cheap.
cheap.
Why is she paying for half? I mean... It's fine if maybe she volunteered to pay for half of it, but if
that could be just her bill, and so she's paying for her bill.
Yeah.
Whatever she has in her wallet.
I'm just. It's fine if people want to offer, or if they have their own, like they split the bill, or however they want to do it. But why doesn't he just? He could easily have offered himself to say, "Hey, look." You don't need to break out the change, or I'll take you to a nice Coinstar after this if you want.
We can get rid of these peppers for you.
Actually, what I need someone to do is, because he's vocal about who he is, you need to give it some time, go and get on a date with him, and then when you're going to pay, bring out I have a piggy bank. Bring out your piggy bank.
Yes.
Just shake it all
out. So many pennies.
What do I got in here? I think I got some quarters.
And you really run up the bill too.
You really do. And so you're trolling him, and it's going to take time. And it's going to take maybe a few dates, and you're going to have to be strong. Then the minute you get the change out, be like, I've been trolling you this whole time.
It's weirder to me, actually, that he is, as the person being on the date, I'm going to guess that maybe the first date went pretty well, and the second date leading up to the coin thing, either he's just absolutely dumb, or maybe the second date wasn't going great anyways. He's still dumb for doing this to her, but, there was enough of an understanding, maybe at least on his end, that we're not going to be going out again. But I would be I would expect more for this kind of behavior to come from like a waiter or waitress seeing somebody pay with coins, because that would drive. I would understand why that would drive them crazy.
Dude, if it's like 20 and change, you just pull the change out. It doesn't mean she was paying for the whole entire.
You're right as well.
Exactly.
On that one. She might have been making the tip work out or whatever. But
guys, don't do this on a date.
Don't do it. Never do this. And like if she's volunteering to pay too, like I wouldn't make fun of her for that. I'd be like, heck yeah, if you want to pay some, you're more than welcome.
Right.
I'd be like, yeah, get after it, girl. I don't care if you're paying with quarters or whatever it is.
Let me go to my car. I have some quarters.
Yeah.
I'm joining in.
I'm gonna dig them out from the seats.
If she's willing to pay, I'm fine with whatever she wants to use. I don't care what she's using.
No, you're dead on.
I think the message is don't be this way on a date.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? RadioU.
Nikki, I'm gonna say something that just you would never expect to hear on this show. Okay.
Watch your language.
Let me set the... No, it's not like that. You don't need to get the FCC involved or anything.
My hand's on the button. Don't you say anything.
The cough button. Let me set the stage for you. I want you to know that if you have a bank card, I don't know if this goes for every bank, but for my bank at least, if you are trying to use it for like, say, online shopping, and you type in the wrong CVV code.
Sure, the 3-digit code.
Yeah, that's a death sentence for your card.
Oh, did it lock it?
Not for your account, but it was weird because they didn't even let me know. Like I had tried to use it online or whatever and wound it like it was not working. So I was like, fine, I'll just use a different card. So I go to use it another day and like try to get money out of the bank. And they wouldn't let me. And I was like, what the heck is going on at the ATM? So I go in and they tell me, it's like, you must have entered your CVV in wrong because this card, you're not going to be able to use it anymore. We'll get you a new one. But if you enter the CVV in wrong.
One time?
Yeah, I guess.
Or how many times did you do it wrong?
Yeah, it was more than one.
Okay.
But, so a lesson is don't try to do it from memory.
So normally I would think they just unlock the card.
Right.
But they're saying you have to get a new one?
Yeah. The person at the bank said, like, that's the worst thing you can do, basically.
The kiss of death.
Yeah, you're not going to get that card unlocked, which it's fine. I'm in what do you call it? I've accepted it. But what I learned is because since then, I really have to basically get my money out by going into the bank for the last couple of days until
instead of the ATM.
Yeah, you think you get enough money out the first time and then you spend it. So you need to get a bit more.
Well, you're just not doing well.
I've gone into the bank a couple times, and can I tell you that maybe interacting with people isn't the worst thing?
Are you liking it?
Maybe.
You're not supposed to go in the bank, though. You're not supposed to talk to people.
But maybe it's not the worst.
Well, it
Maybe
is.
No, it's not.
You just
the
accepted
people were
this
nice.
new you.
Well, they're nice, though. The people are nice.
Did you get candy?
You have to interact with sometimes it's actually, especially with going into a bank, you just don't want to do it because you're afraid you're going to be dumb. I don't know how to fill out one of those withdrawal slips.
I know.
I don't know what that is.
You just hand them the card and tell them what you want to do.
Well, I don't have a card.
Oh,
but.
yeah, but if you did, you're like, I can't fill out any forms.
Yeah, no, I figured out, I taught myself to fill out a withdrawal slip. And then I go talk to the person, the teller.
You're all ready.
And I've done this multiple times, and they're actually nice. And so this is something that I would have never thought I guess in theory, I always would have thought, yeah, it's important to have human interaction. But in practice, I would never want to go into a bank and interact with a stranger. But now that I've done it, it's not so bad.
Are you going to keep doing it when you get your card?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But
enjoy it while you have it.
But maybe in other situations, in other instances, I might find ways where I have the option of either doing a non-human interaction and actually talking to somebody, and maybe I'll talk to somebody.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I find that when I go in, it's not the workers that are the problem. It's the other people that have gone in.
Oh, the only... The only people that have been in there when
they're all older. And
yes,
they all
either
cause
they're completely
problems.
silent, like they don't want to be there either, or it's like these sweet old folks that are just cutting it up like this is the only human interaction they get.
No,
and so they're so excited to just talk to somebody.
No, the last time there was this guy and he was the one in front of me and he needed to speak with someone about something. And the lady's like, well, he'll be back in like 15 after he's lunch. So the guy goes, well, where can I sit and wait? I'm just like, all right. I'll let you guys figure this one out in a moment. And then the lady was like 10 feet away from the desk because of the COVID. Like you're supposed to space yourself, but she missed the first space. She spaced herself way in the back. And so we were all huddled by the door.
Oh my gosh.
And then no one wanted to tell her, like, man, you need to scoot up.
No one had the heart.
I can't go in. So good for you if you can manage it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not, as soon as I get my card, which hopefully will be coming today, I will not be going into the bank routinely again. But I'm just trying to let everybody know. We all are so afraid. It's like we got to go to the self-checkout or get stuff delivered to us, no interaction deliveries and all this. And it's like, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, I'm not saying everything, but sometimes it's not the worst to actually talk to a person that you don't know.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
Nikki, I just want to take this time to fill you in on another little something that Netflix is spending your hard-earned money on.
Great. What are they doing?
They are
Another
doing...
movie starring lots of people that are getting paid way too much. It's not funny.
Well, they're doing plenty of those. But this is in addition to that. This is... the Jonas Brothers Family Roast.
Oh, they're doing a roast on them?
Yeah. They're bringing the roast back. They used to.
I have to be strong enough to cancel Netflix eventually.
You have to, right?
I'm going to have to.
What are you getting out of it?
Listen, you have no room to talk.
What do you mean?
You have a family member who takes care of the Netflix side of things.
And I don't use it.
But you still have access to it.
Well, I'm sure you could still get access to a Netflix account if you wanted to.
My mom canceled hers. I can't do it.
Well, for good reason.
I know.
You know what?
She got mad at something and canceled it.
Let me tell you that there have been conversations in my family about the person who pays for Netflix is like, do I really have to still pay for this? Because, we all
That's
have our
your
ones that we
job.
pay for.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never use it. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay for it because I also don't use it. But then somebody else pipes up and they're like, well, I still use it. So keep it around.
So you have that fallback.
Yeah.
If I finally end up canceling it, then I don't get to watch anything.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't want to really watch
But then you
this.
could just replace it with HBO Max and you'd find a whole new world of things that you could watch.
You like it, but I very rarely watch movies.
Uh-huh.
So
No, there's some great shows on HBO Max.
I had it for a tiny bit. I watched Godzilla there.
You need to get it for The Matrix.
I'll deal with it then. No, I'll log in with yours then. Thank you, Hudson, for offering that. That is so sweet.
I'll give you my login if you cancel Netflix. If you just bite the bullet.
No.
I'll also give you the login
Listen.
for my family member who pays for it.
I can't. I have the baking show that's on every Friday, and there's some, romantic Christmas movies coming out. So maybe January, but then I hate it.
How much is that worth to you?
It's my pride.
What is it, like $20 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's totally worth every penny.
But now they're doing what are they?
It's a Jonas Brothers family roast.
Isn't that normally Comedy Central?
Yeah,
that does the
Comedy
roast?
Central used to, I don't know if they still do them. I would think they do, but it hasn't been maybe as highly publicized or hasn't done as well. But they used to, the famous one for at least recently was the Bob Saget roast. Bob Saget from Full House, because everybody was playing the clip of Norm Macdonald at the Bob Saget roast, which is really hilarious. They used to do a ton of those. Now, not so much, I guess. So Netflix is trying to take up the mantle. So all three of the Jonas Brothers will be there to be roasted for the hour-long comedy special.
It's got sketches and songs and games.
Yeah, doesn't it sound like the worst?
Oh, that does. Even though it is funny because they say no one can hurt you like your own family.
Yeah.
So I bet some of their...
You think they're going to go hard?
Netflix hard.
I just think it's going to be cringy.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what I don't want. I hate cringe.
You're not watching it anyways.
No, I'm not. But it would make me mad if I was paying for it, is what I'm trying to tell you.
So fine, you be mad for me because I'm the only one in the room paying for Netflix.
Right.
Isaiah over there doesn't even pay for Netflix.
Yep,
He bought a TV on Facebook that was still logged into Facebook. Or not Facebook, but into Netflix.
Yeah.
And he's watching Netflix on that strange person's login.
Why don't you?
I'm jealous.
Why don't you just do that?
Well, he doesn't have the login. It's just still logged in.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Although every year this comes up to me that for many places, they're not even trick-or-treating on Halloween.
No, it depends on where you're at. My trick-or-treat for my neighborhood is Thursday.
Uh-huh.
So I got the candy ready.
Do you know why?
It's just everybody likes to be problematic.
Oh,
because one part of my neighborhood's Thursday, and then the other side, which is technically all within like the same community, but in a different part, it does Sunday night.
Yeah.
So they say you should just have candy for both. Which I think is the worst idea. Because I don't want to do this 2 nights.
Yeah. Well, it always bothers me on multiple levels. One, I guess maybe for like small children, it's good to have a planned night. Mm-hmm. But for like you're getting up to double digits age and it really is trick or treat and it's all about having fun. Why are you letting your parents or why are you letting the adults tell you when you go out and get candy? You know it's Halloween. You know when to get candy.
Yeah, okay, that's a good attitude to have.
It is.
Yeah, that's
You dress
good.
up like Batman, you cause some problems if people don't give you candy. If
go out
it's
with
Halloween, I don't care when the neighborhood trick-or-treat night is.
Well,
I'm
you
going
do.
out on Halloween.
You do, because no one will be answering the door to give you anything.
Then you trick them.
Well, yeah, that's too much work. That's an empty threat.
Not when you're a kid.
It is. I didn't do any of that. I go to the next door.
As an adult, I'm not advocating this, but as a kid, I understand if you want to go get some eggs or toilet paper and just have a good time.
No,
because they're not giving you the Snickers you need.
That's why I was thinking about this Halloween. Maybe I was just going to set a table out and just throw the candy on it.
Yeah.
And I have a camera at my door. I really want to get a video of someone doing something.
Yeah.
You know, like the one neighbor mom who ends up stealing all the candy.
Oh, yeah. You know it wouldn't be a kid.
Nope. I want something like that, but I'll sit out there with it.
I would be, I feel that I should not ever start going to city council meetings or anything like that because I would be the worst because they'd be like, let's move trick or treat to Thursday for no reason at all.
And
I will be intransigent. I will not let them do it because it doesn't make any sense. I'll finish on this.
But it has nothing to do with you.
What do you mean?
You're not the one trick-or-treating.
People come to my door.
Jeez, you get ranty about the funniest things.
Well, here's where I'll end. I understand the idea of it's a school night, right? If Halloween falls on a school night, you don't want the kids out late when they've got to get up for school in the morning, as if that's not part of the fun of Halloween. So, but we're having Halloween is still on a school night, then you're moving it to Thursday, which is still a school night.
Yes, but at
What's
least you're...
the point?
Listen,
Who are you helping?
We do that, though, as non-trick-or-treaters. We stay up late on Thursday because Friday's a wash. Like, you're just doing whatever. They expect Friday to be
why
nothing.
don't they just give the kids Friday off of school then?
Monday is a more important day. To start the week
Monday's
off strong.
hard enough already.
Guys, it doesn't
Throw some
matter.
candy into the mix.
Listen, we're eating candy every day. It doesn't matter.
This is... every year, what saddens me is I never get an explanation. It's just like with daylight saving time.
No, I think...
Why do we keep doing it? Nobody tells me.
I do think that there are some places, like especially smaller towns, where they're weirded out about some of the weird stuff on Halloween.
The spooky
and so
part
they're
of
like,
Halloween.
Let's not do Halloween. Let's do a few days before.
Oh, and call it something different.
I do think you get you do get a bit of that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, nothing weird goes on. Yep, sometimes weird stuff goes on.
Sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Sure. All right.
There's your explanation.
So what? We're going to be superstitious?
Listen.
Hello.
It doesn't matter.
Hello, City Council.
We're not in
I'd
a
like to
meeting.
propose that we move Halloween to Thursday night because I'm superstitious.
That's all right. Never mind. We're not in a council meeting. So I know you're throwing out all these good things, but we don't actually have anything to do with it.
Feel free to take a recording of this, whoever you are, and play it for your city council so that you can set things right in the coming years.
Oh my gosh.
One day we're going to get Halloween on Halloween, and we're going to stop daylight saving time because we just don't we're not helping anyone.
Okay.
Anyways, I
Listen.
have actual Halloween news coming up.
You do for later, right?
It's coming up next.
You spend all your time on this now.
Yes, I got so wrapped up in it. And this is the benefit of this show is I can get these things out
Feel
and people
better.
have to listen. My wife will just tune me out or walk away. But here,
We're stuck.
you can't just walk out of the show.
I can't.
And people can just switch the station if they want, except once they hear my side, they're going to like, yeah, actually, this is the first time you're hearing. You're like, yeah, Hudson has some good points.
Yes, okay, that's what they're saying now.
All right, Halloween news that is not going to be a rant coming up next.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot Podcast.
Have you ever wondered if candy could kill you?
Meaning like there's a razor blade in it? or?
No. I mean, of course.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, you always hear the rumors about that. No, I just mean just regular old standard candy. If you got a bunch of fun-sized Snickers, how many would it take to do you in?
Like it's too much sugar?
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
And I actually have an answer for you.
What is it?
It could potentially kill you. It could certainly make you very sick. And there's actually a math calculation you can do pretty simply to figure out how many fun-sized pieces of candy or how many candy corns it would take
one
to possibly
candy corn
kill
to
you.
kill you. I mean, that stuff's
you're right.
just trash. But let's focus on the candy bars.
Yes. All right. So for fun-sized candy bars, for the standard, let's not use words like that. For a 180-pound person, it would take 262 pieces of fun-sized Halloween candy, basically eaten almost all at once. And that may be enough to potentially kill you
They say
because
the
of the
sugar
sugar.
would be lethal?
Yeah, the amounts of sugar, you get poisoned from that.
Even though they say that, what is it, hyperglycemia?
Yes, hyperglycemia.
You'd probably start vomiting, like you'd start throwing up before you got to that point.
If you were 180 pounds and you ate precisely 262 pieces of fun-size Snickers all at once, it's possible it would kill you, but it would certainly make you sick for, I guess, a multitude of reasons. So, but that's the equation is, if you want to figure out how many pieces of candy it would take to kill you, you just go ahead.
Write this down and figure it out.
And you multiply your weight by 13.5 and then divide that by 9.3 because that's, or however many grams of sugar are in the thing you're eating. So,
and that'll tell you.
That'll tell you.
Dude, it'll also tell you your BMI because that seems like the same. It seems like that same
It's
equation.
a similar equation.
Yeah, you're like, what's your BMI?
Yeah, so 262. If you want to know candy corn for a 180-pound person, it would take 1,620 27 eaten all at once.
I hate these articles, though, because the way they put it, they're like, well...
you never know.
Someone on YouTube's like, all right, challenge accepted.
Yeah,
I'll see how many candies I can eat.
Somebody's going to do it, right? But hopefully they're maybe they weigh a little more, so they have
some more?
They can eat the 262 and they won't be too poisoned.
They say that it's for you to take a look, though, they're telling, because they want you to know the risk of these candy bars, and depending on your health, obviously, I think.
Yeah, right.
But no one's going to be. Who can afford 262 pieces of candy?
Do they even sell bags that big? Maybe at Costco.
And a lot of times with the big bags of candy, because I get the one at Costco, there might be, say, like 6 candy options in there.
Yeah.
And there's always 1 or 2 throwaway candies.
Yeah, that you wouldn't even want.
That you don't even want anyways.
The Mr. Good bars. Who picks those out?
The Almond Joys.
The Almond Joys.
Because I've been eating the Snickers out of ours. So if you're trick-or-treating near my house, I will not give you any Snickers.
Plus.
But there's also those, is it 100 grand bars or whatever?
I don't even know what 100 grand is. Isaiah and I had this conversation one of the days where you were out. And I said, we were just talking about various candies that are underrated or that people like obscure candies that people really like. 100 grand came up, and I thought, 100 grand.
I bet you've had it before.
I don't know if I have, and I just feel like it's a candy bar for an old person just based off of the design. Because the packaging looks like it's for somebody who is in their 70s.
Made in 1964. It is chocolate, caramel, and crisp rice, and guess who makes it?
Nestle?
Ferrera.
Oh, really?
Ferrero Rocher.
Well, then they might not be making them this year, huh? Because they got hacked, right?
Basically, if you can't afford the Ferrero Rocher, just buy this. It's the same thing in candy bar form.
Yeah, it actually doesn't sound so horrible. Maybe I'll have to change my mind on the 100 grand.
It's low in cholesterol, but high in saturated fat and sugar.
Ooh.
That's what everybody likes.
I love saturated fat and sugar. 2 of my favorite food groups.
Well, then you can get that.
There we go. So, don't eat 262 pieces of candy this year. It would take a long time to unwrap all those anyway. So we'll just stick with one cinnamon roll Snickers coming up soon.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot Podcast.
Nikki, check this out. I've got a study here that says workplace interruptions actually make employees feel more valued.
That's interesting.
You know what? What?
You're interrupting me. Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
Don't you feel valued?
Now, I don't consider this work, Hudson. This is just fun time.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So I have to wait till after we're off the air, and then when you're sitting in your office, and then I'll come interrupt you?
Basically, it's from researchers from University of Cincinnati. I think it's where you're working and, like, say your boss comes and interrupts you.
I think it is, too.
Or management, and they are bringing up things to your attention.
Yeah.
And because they say in this study that the things that might make you feel stressed out in the moment of them talking to you about these things down the road might be better for you. It can outweigh the negatives because you could be a more valued employee by having that conversation.
Do you ever feel like, or does anybody else do this? You wear something a little flashy, and even if you don't necessarily like it, because it's like at least somebody will comment, at least somebody will notice.
Oh, to notice about it?
Yeah, maybe that's just at work. Sometimes you just, it's not whether you're doing good or bad. It's just you want to be noticed.
So it's not negative attention.
So that they know you're still there actually working, whether you're doing good or bad, as long as they know that you're actually a part of the team.
They brought up a lot when, everybody went to working at home and instead of being in the workplace, they said one of the negatives is if you did want job security, you did not have the inner office interactions with the people who maybe were your bosses or just the people around you. You lost the connection with everybody. And so if it came time to, like, say, fire certain people, you didn't have, maybe you were the one who was always available to help if there was an emergency or if they came and talked to you. Like you missed out on that connection you might have maintained better in the office.
Right. Well, I'm sure there's situations where if it's on the line, it's you and another employee and the boss has a rapport with you because he sees you face to face every day, that probably makes a difference. And he likes the way you conduct yourself, even if you don't bring in the best numbers or something like that. So
it gave you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah. So it definitely makes sense. And I think it really comes down to kind of like what we were talking about with going into the bank. Sometimes it's just nice to know that even though maybe a lot of us don't like the attention and we don't actually like interacting with other people, but it's good to have just a human moment sometimes.
We don't always have
sometimes
those.
at work, if you're just plugging away in your office all the time, you might be more efficient doing that. But if your other colleagues and your bosses and whatever are at least taking note and remembering that you're there, it helps you remember that you're actually working for somebody and you're not just a mindless worker bee over there.
Buzz away.
Yeah.
They're saying that so this is next time if someone asks for your opinion or help, maybe remember this. They say if a colleague thinks enough of you to ask for your opinion, help, or input, researchers say that it serves as a validation that you're a valued member of the team. It might not feel like that in the moment, but
actually,
later it would.
Whoa, that's huge. Because, think about us, Nikki. How many times is just like, I don't even want to acknowledge, like, I don't want to have to bring up the issue to another person because I don't know if they'll be able to fix it or something like that.
All the time.
I'll just do it myself.
It's fine.
Just
I'll
do
take
it myself.
care of it.
Yep.
But you want to be a valued member of your team.
Yeah.
So maybe next time you respond in a negative feeling way, slow down, take care of it, and then it could be better for you.
Yeah.
This is The Riot. Radio U. It's time for a Riot food fight.
It is The Riot on Radio U. 8772 Radio U, Radio U Riot on Facebook. It's food fight time. Good morning, Nikki and Isaiah and everyone else.
Good morning, Hudson. Good morning, Isaiah.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Are you guys ready to try a candy bar?
Yeah.
For breakfast?
Yeah, any day.
Have you guys eaten yet? I haven't.
I had, I've been enjoying these things called Stroop Waffles. Have you ever had one of those?
What?
Oh, wow. No, those are good.
It's good. And this one's an ice cream sandwich one. And it was on Sunday, and I had a breakfast Stroop Waffle. I just ate it for breakfast, and it was really nice. I feel like we should look into candy bars or ice cream or desserts for early morning hours more than we do right now.
I like that idea. Mm-hmm. Well, we got some ice cream coming our way November 1st, right?
Oh, yeah.
For the Little Debbie
Christmas tree ice creams.
That's on the
Isaiah,
way.
You'll go that morning before the show starts.
Hopefully I'll find it. I mean, you never know. I go to the store like every day and I never find anything. So
He doesn't have the best record with all that. It seems to get past it. But for the Snickers one, this is their new Cinnamon Bun Snickers that we are excited to try.
I was wondering, what do you think about this, Isaiah? It's a picture of a cinnamon roll, it seems to me, on the front, but it says cinnamon bun.
Well, isn't it the same thing? What's
I don't think they're
cinnamon
the
bun
same
and a
thing.
cinnamon roll?
Well, what do you think's the difference between a bun and a roll?
If it's a roll, then it's a roll. Look at it. It's
not-
rolled
It's the same
up.
thing. A
It's
cinnamon
rolled-
bun and a
No,
cinnamon roll are the same
buns
thing.
and rolls are different.
Is that really your argument?
What do you mean? Like, can I have a cinnamon bun or can I have a cinnamon roll? It's the same
Can somebody
thing.
back me up here?
Well, what's
It's the same
bun
thing,
then?
though.
Or can a cinnamon roll be a bun?
When
Yes.
I
No,
think of
it
a
can't.
cinnamon bun, I think of getting it like from like Annie Ann's or something. Where like a cinnamon roll, I think of like what I would
You
have
mean
at home.
cinnamon roll or like Cinnabon?
It's all the same. Is it
Yeah.
not all the same?
It's not all the same.
All
What's the
right,
difference?
It might be the same ingredients, but a bun is a bun and
Cinnamon
a roll is a roll.
versus bun. These are good things we could have done earlier.
Yeah, right.
They say you can discern
I didn't
one
realize
from
it was
the
going to be
other
controversial.
by the presence of frosting. A cinnamon roll must have vanilla or cream cheese icing, and a sticky bun has its own brown sugar glaze. So
this
that's
isn't
the
a-
difference between the roll and a bun.
Oh, I don't know if that answers any questions we
Well,
had.
I
at
think
all.
they
When
did
you look
both.
at it, it looks like it has icing, but maybe not. Guys,
They did
you know
both.
what?
It doesn't
Snickers
matter.
doesn't care.
No.
They just want you to
They're
eat
trying
the-
to cover everything so that you can't
Well, I
say it
just
doesn't
wanna know-
taste like this.
I just want to know what I'm supposed to be expecting when I eat.
I think you're overthinking it.
It's not going to taste like either. It's what's going to happen.
true.
We're going to take a bite and be like, oh, it tastes like a Snickers.
Snicker, yeah, you're
All
right.
right, so the Snickers cinnamon roll or the cinnamon bun, new one that's out.
All right, let's try it. Or we should stagger who is eating so that one of us can
Oh,
be
the
talking.
inside's kind of different looking. Does that taste like a cinnamon roll or a bun?
Did they even put cinnamon in this?
I don't know.
Oh, wait.
It just tastes like a Snickers to me. I have no other flavor. I can't get anything.
It's just because the chocolate in a Snickers is so iconic that the chocolate is just what you
Yeah.
get.
If there's anything cinnamon about this, it's So faint.
They say peanut cinnamon bun flavored nougat. So the nougat has the
nougat is the
flavor in it.
difference.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel and milk chocolate.
See, they had to do something more.
It's
I
not
think-
powerful enough.
You can't just do the nougat. That's not enough.
Yeah,
They
but what
needed to
else?
switch the caramel to something else.
They should have just put cinnamon buns in it.
Yeah.
Or cinnamon
I mean,
stuff.
look, don't get any of us wrong. I think
It's
we're
good.
still going to eat this because it's still a Snickers, which is fine. Snickers are pretty good. But if you didn't put the cinnamon roll picture on here, you think anybody's going, oh, that tastes like a cinnamon roll?
I would have no idea
No
what
way.
this.
But
I would
Not
think
a
it's the
chance.
same.
I don't think you would think it was exactly a Snickers. You would think, oh, what's slightly off of
Yeah.
this? But not enough
You're
to
like, am I
distinguish
getting
it's
a very
cinnamon
faint
bun.
hint of cinnamon? I must be crazy if
I
they
don't
just
know.
put this in a regular cinnamon.
I think it was just a regular Snickers. I don't think I'd be. I think I would eat this and think, oh, it's just a Snickers. Like I don't think I would think it's anything different.
pretty indiscernible.
It's good. Does it scream cinnamon bun? No, it does not. But does it matter? No, not really.
But I do love the color of the wrapping. The blue is
I
very,
know,
very
it's
beautiful
nice.
wrapping
Isn't it?
now.
Yeah.
It does look good, and that's why it's tempting. I think it's at Walmart only for the cinnamon bun Snickers that's now out.
I just got stuff in the keyboard. So
Oh my gosh,
Did you get
did.
nougat in there?
I can
You can't
see
get
it.
that out.
It's like a peanut or something.
yeah, gonna need some compressed air or something.
Oh my gosh. It's like every food fight is like keyboard again, fourth time in a row.
This is why Chris, our engineer, just shakes his head at us. You're like,
He's like,
sorry.
another food fight?
Hey.
It's the third one this week.
He helps us set them up,
He does.
and then he doesn't like the results.
And I think we can always replace the keyboard as long as it's just that. That's
Yeah.
the only thing. That's
If
the
it's
least
just the
expensive
keyboard.
item here. Well, not bad for your food fight. It's the, again, Snickers cinnamon bun that's out.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Right. Nikki, Isaiah, and I, we all carry our own area of dating expertise into.
It's not a lot, but there's
no,
something there.
We have
Expertise?
Hey, we've all done it. We've all dated.
We all have someone special.
And
Does
yeah,
that make
we
us
all,
experts? We've all had a girlfriend or boyfriend at some point in time.
Yeah.
I think that does mean you're successful
Yeah.
at that point.
Especially if it's still
Going on.
you must have
Yeah.
done something right, at least to this point.
Well, I thought this was interesting because this is kind of like tips for if you're newly dating.
Yes.
Kind of where it's still that confusing time of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep it, they say light, but you're wondering if it'll be a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the first one was the best. Text back as quickly as you want. Because a lot of times when you're newly dating with someone, you're very hesitant to go all in
Yeah.
on like how
Yeah.
much you want to communicate with him. But I remember with Eric, like I was just really excited to talk to Eric.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm just going to keep texting and they say that is actually better. Don't be afraid to text them. You don't have to do the whole wait, a certain amount of time. Make sure you text them if you want to.
I always would be in between.
Oh, you wait a bit?
I didn't want to wait forever because I didn't want it to seem like I was ignoring somebody, but I also didn't want to text back too quickly, like I've got nothing going on, except talking to them.
Hey, I didn't know you were a game player with that.
Yeah.
I thought about it way too much.
I feel like
Way too
everybody
much.
does. Like, but I didn't really, because I feel like my friend would say that, like, that's so dumb. Like, why are you waiting? They'd be like, I'm gonna wait or whatever. I'm not gonna snap back right away or text back right away. And I'd be like, why are you waiting? Just text back.
Just
if you're
do
on
what
the
you
phone.
want.
Exactly.
Just do what you want.
They
And
say don't wait.
yeah. Let's see. They also, I really like this one. Take turns making plans.
Oh, so it's not always just the one person?
Yes, it's not just one person deciding what every date is going to be. I think that's a great idea. Although taking turns making plans starts with somebody making a plan to do
first
that.
time?
Yes. I have a plan. How about you make a plan?
Yeah.
That's not what they're saying. Actually, they do say that that's better because otherwise your special someone might be getting used to you doing all the work.
Yeah.
So you should not plan everything.
And it's a good idea to, the first couple dates, maybe you want to try to agree on something where you're both going to be comfortable and it's not something too crazy. But after a couple dates, you want to, if you let the other person pick something out completely and just be like, hey, well, I'll do whatever you want to do, and vice versa, it helps you get to know each other and branch out a little bit.
It's true, but I mean, it's hard. There's only so many first date items.
That's for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Like, so what do you want to do? Like, go see a movie? Like, yeah. Like, what's first?
I heard
it's tough.
coffee's nice.
Yeah.
Let's see how
Go
it
get
is.
food.
Let's see if you like them. Tell them. Again, just like with the messaging, don't wait. If you like them, tell them some positive feedback.
I also like assume they like you
Yeah,
back.
I like that one too. That's a good one.
Because there's some, again, this is something I totally did when I was dating, is you just look for all the reasons why you're going out with this person and they keep talking to you, but for some reason you just want to keep finding reasons why they don't like you and why it's not going to work out. And it's just like, hey, if they're still talking to you,
they must like you.
Yeah, they must like you. So until they give you an actual reason to change that, just assume they like you.
Now, don't miss if they are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If they are giving you the signs.
Far. You can totally take it too far.
For sure.
I really feel like that's an internal thing, not a way you act.
I don't know. Some guys never got it.
No, that's for sure.
It really just depends. But be confident, be honest, communicate with people. So I just thought they were pretty good tips.
Yeah, they're good ones. And I would say the best, I like to assume they like you back because one of my friends is always trying to talk to girls and stuff, and I'll be saying that to me, I'll be like, go talk to that girl if you think she's cute or whatever. He's like, she probably has a boyfriend. I'm like, you're never gonna talk to someone if you look at him and say, she probably has a boyfriend. You
have to start.
Yeah, I was like, you have to go up and talk to her at some point. I was like, well, the worst thing she's gonna say is, or just kind of blow you off or have you walk away, and then you just talk to a different girl. It's fine.
Sounds like Isaiah'd be a good wingman.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I try to instill the confidence in my friends.
There you go.
You're a good friend.
That's what you need to do then.
Yeah. Go no, text her back now.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.